Hello everyone, Cheek here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers 40th Anniversary Soundwave, and my oh my, am I so glad to have him. And not only that, I am so glad that I got to get him autographed by the one and only Frank Welker. Oh man, definitely a very interesting story, but I will get down to that once I do my Christmas special. Definitely look forward to recording that. Anyway, definitely one of my cooler figures. Here we have Soundwave out of the packaging and all that. He is really cool. This is not the first time I've had this mold. I did have a reissue years ago that my dad got for me for Christmas, and I absolutely loved it. But this one obviously is Toon Colors, and you can see has two signatures. I will say this much, he did not like the way his signature looked on that because it's pretty faint, but I still think it looks cool regardless. So he decided to write his name on the bottom, which I think is so cool. Obviously, there's not too much for the cassette tape player mode, except, you know, there's the battery compartment where his accessories are stored. The handgun, and then of course his shoulder rocket launcher, which is pretty cool. And then of course some detail inside there is Hasbro 1974 and 1983. 1974 is the original Takara, when this was, I think, Microman or Microchange or whatever. But 1983 is when I guess Hasbro started producing these for the 1984 cartoon. I'm surprised they didn't add something for 2024, but obviously based on the way this is colored, no chrome or anything like that, that this is a newer figure, not an original. And then we have Ravage in his cassette mode. There's not much of like cassette stuff, obviously, because they want to make him be a, well, Toon accurate, so obviously he's not going to have the cassette stuff on him, although it feels like there should be a Decepticon emblem or something right there. They just put a gray block instead of leaving it black. I don't know exactly what the idea was behind that. And then Laserbeak, I wish they would have painted it instead, like silver and red, rather than just using stickers, because then they use stickers pretty much everywhere. The only thing that they didn't use stickers on was right here, but on Ravage it's all paint, so I don't know why they made that decision. I will admit the stickers do look nice and shiny, but it's still a little, it feels like it, then in that case these should be chrome, which I'm glad they're not, because chrome, like I've said in the past, oh, it's such a pain, because it's like fingerprints and then it wears off over time. But the silver paint feels like it kind of doesn't go with that. And then obviously Ravages are also silver paint, and then instead, I don't know why they left these unpainted for Soundwave. I only got one of these out because of leave it as intact as possible for everything else. And then bios, we have Soundwave, function, communications, cries and screams are music to my ears. It says Soundwave can hear a fly sneeze, uses anything he hears for blackmail to advance his status, opportunist. Laserbeak, function, interrogation. The only point I like in Autobots is melting point. Laserbeak takes pleasure in hunting his prey, usually the struggling survivors of a battle. So, sort of like a vulture, I guess, in that regard. And then, Decepticon Ravage, function, saboteur. Today's Autobots are tomorrow's scrap metal. Ravage operates best alone, a creature of the night, craftiest of all Decepticons. And then there's the stats. I guess I could go over the stats, but he, let's see, strength 5, intelligence 8, speed 5, fire blast 7. So he's, well, makes sense, he's pretty intelligent. It actually looks like not, yeah, I don't know why they do the other peaks, because it makes it harder to read in my opinion. Laserbeak, strength 5, intelligence 6, speed 8, fire blast 8. And then Soundwave, let's see, strength is 8, intelligence 9, speed 2. Well, I mean, he is a Walkman. And then Fire Blast is 6. So, I mean, it makes sense that he's I mean, he relies more on his minions. I don't think I'm ever going to cut those out unless the box gets damaged to a point where it's like, I may as well just keep it, because I do want to keep him in the box displayed with the signature facing outward. And of course, this pops open, have detail inside of there, although it's kind of hard to see with the way the lighting is here, but there we are. You can see the inside detail, and then he can only hold one cassette at a time, but it does look pretty cool. I think Laserbeak looks the best in his chest, just because there's more color there. Now, if you don't want that, then you could have Ravage in here, and then it's just darker backdrop, but both of them can go in there, but not at the same time. Okay, transformation for Soundwave is very straightforward. You just extend the legs out like that, pull down, rotate, push up, flip out the feet, pull out the arms, push in. You don't have to push them in, I just don't like the visible hinges like that. Flip out, or slide out, wrong side, I was pulling on the wrong side, but slide out the hands, flip up the head, rotate around, and then go ahead and put on his rocket launcher, and extend out the gun, push this in. There is no launching capability, just a button to release it, but there would have been a spring in the original one, and you could have launched that out, and just plug it in like so, and then Ravage, just rotate the tail out, flip the head out, rotate the legs down and out, and then rotate the feet, and then same with this side. The main downside though to G1 Ravage though is that his legs are stuck together, so he is very off balance. Then plug this in, plug this in like that, and then we have Ravage, and he can stand up somewhat well, just as long as it doesn't shake or anything. And Laserbeak, extend out, then rotate the legs down, and then just get the wings spread out if you want, and then position his head however you want, and then put on his little boosters and guns. And then that's his ultra mode, which I think is pretty cool. You do get a little yellow paint for the eyes, and the stickers, like I said, it does look nice, but I still think it would have been better if it was just painted on, and also less likely to well, you know, peel off in the future. And then you can, of course, if you want to, you can have him perched up on Soundwave's arm. Obviously, there's no pegs or magnets or anything like that to hold him in place, so he's just don't want to bump him or else he'll fall off. I did forget to show off the detail on Ravage, but has red painted eyes and purple Decepticon emblem right there. And I mean, there's not much else on here that you can't see from cassette tape mode. Same with Laserbeak, except for his faces. His face is hidden a lot better. Oh, and then I guess another thing about Soundwave is there. It looks like that these. Nope, those aren't stickers. That's painted on too. So I don't know why they couldn't do that to Laserbeak, but maybe budgeting. I don't know. That might have been it. But painted on detail right there. Paint here and here. Looks like it got a little bit scratched at some point, either while I've had it or maybe just in production. Then, of course, on the back, there's not much else revealed. There is a little bit of molded in detail that's revealed when you turn into robot mode. But yeah, that's pretty much about it for him. He does have some metal feet. He does have metal feet. They were metal on the original, except they were unpainted on the original toy, if I remember right. So it was more obviously metal. So I was like, are these metal? Are they plastic? But I was like, pleased to find out that they are still metal. So that's about it for this Soundwave. Soundwave has always been one of my favorite characters. I think it was one of the best G1 toys of all time, mainly because it looked pretty close to him in his cartoon appearance. He was one of the most accurate ones. And he actually stood up pretty well. He didn't have the best articulation, but he had a decent amount compared to some of the others and looked pretty clean in his robot mode. But also this one's going to have a really special place in my collection because of Frank Welker and the signature and all that. It's going to be definitely a really, well, one of my favorites in my collection. If you've liked this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.